I think on all your streams we should read and review a piece of fan fiction.
As Sonic reached his house, he rang the doorbell, but Tails didn't answer. Sonic broke open the door and went inside. What he saw was horrific. He saw blood everywhere, scratches on the walls, and messages that he felt were disturbing and cryptic. He then heard a murmured cry coming from...
Murmured.
A murmur! It's the murmur!
Help, he's been murmured!
Murmured cry coming from Tails' room. Sonic rushed to his friend's room to see if he was okay. Note: the rest of the scene will contain descriptions of blood and gore. Too disturbing. He used the wrong two, by the way. He said T-O. It's supposed to be T-O-O. Too disturbing for young readers. I advise you skip this part if you are
wait.
or younger.
Hold up. So, you know, I think the person writing this is maybe like 13.
Probably.
Like, if you're 12 or younger, but watch out, buddy.
Tails' room. Sonic opened the door and saw a horrific scene. He found Tails dead on the floor with his stomach cut open, guts thrown out, and his blood everywhere on the walls, floor, and ceiling. Sonic got down on his... Are you fucking kidding me? I'm reading these and it's a blunt typo and it pisses me off. It's supposed to say Sonic got down on his knees, but it says Sonic got down on his nieces.
It's not a typo.
He got down on his nieces.
Sonic got down on his nieces and started crying at the loss of his friend. He looked up and saw a final message on the ceiling. Sonic couldn't make it out because it was in Russian. He knew.
It was in Russian? You know, that's a creepy language. Let's say he wrote it in Russian.
He knew little of the language, but all he could make out were the words, sights, and more. 6 months later. What? Okay. Think about that. 6 months later, at Tails' funeral.
Wait, it took 6 months?
Took him that long to stuff the guts back in.
6 fucking months later, at Tails' funeral, everyone...
Taxidermy.
Everyone he knew... Everyone he knew was grieving over his death. But the worst was from Sonic. His heart was destroyed by Tails' death. It would follow him throughout his life. A week later, 6 months, and a week after Tails had died, Sonic and his friends were discussing theories about how Tails died.
Game theories.
They didn't start discussing that until 6 months later?
And 6 months and a week later,
They're just
Mitchell.
like,
Now that the taxidermy's done, we can have the funeral.
Many were passed around, but the number one theory was that Dr. Eggman killed Tails. Everyone agreed with this theory, but there were two things that destroyed it. One was that Eggman didn't know how to speak Russian, and two was that Sonic later found a videotape the day Tails died. It was labeled suicidemouse.avi. This video made the tips of Sonic's quills go up. Sonic decided to watch it that night to see what was on. Why did you wait 6 months and a week to fucking watch it? But what he would see would be the last thing he would ever see in his life. At 8 p.m., Sonic was alone in his house, and he turned his cell phone off until he was finished with the video.
Why?
He turned... the TV.
Wait, he just turned his phone off?
It's like, I'm gonna watch a creepy video. Let's turn my phone off.
He turned on the TV and VCR and placed the tape in it and
Hey,
pressed play.
Wait. Hold up. He's playing a .obby on a videotape.
Okay, so it says that he found a videotape and it was labeled Suicide Mouse.obby. So I imagine it's a VCR tape with a piece of like fucking masking tape on it.
I don't think he knows
Put it
how
as
that
a
works.
file name? Where'd he download it, bro? And why'd he download it onto a tape?
He turned on the TV and VCR and placed the tape in it and pressed play. An image then appeared showing famous cartoon character Mickey Mouse walking down a street, sadly with a piano playing badly in the
Is this
background.
gonna be a ripoff of Red Mirror?
Sonic thought it was depressing for a Disney cartoon. A few minutes pass, and the video cuts to black. Sonic's first thought was that this was the entire video.
I don't know, boys. I'm getting scared.
But then another few minutes pass, and the video comes back on. But this time, Sonic could hear murmuring in the background. He turned up the volume so he could hear the murmuring better. Then a high-pitched scream happened that he spelled made wrong.
Did he say M-A-I-D?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
that made Sonic's house shake. Sonic then turned down the volume and looked very pale.
Made Sonic's
As the
wheels
video
shake.
progressed, Sonic was starting to look sick-looking, and his heart was pounding as he saw that Mickey's walking was slowly being distorted and colors were flashing on the screen, and Mickey's eyes fell off his face.
Oh, darn.
The video ended with a picture that is too disturbing for Sonic to describe. Its final image was the same Russian text that he saw on Tails' ceiling that day he died.
It's too disturbing to describe? So
Yeah, but
does he
yeah.
just not describe it?
I guess.
So what's the
Uh,
moral of this story?
Hey, I'm not done yet.
We're still looking.
Sonic turned off the VCR and took the tape out. Sonic was breathing heavily. He later found out off the internet was that this cartoon was made, M-A-I-D, made back in the 30s. And the first guy who saw the whole thing shot himself. Later that night, Sonic was in bed trying to sleep when he was awoken by a noise in his kitchen. Sonic got out of the bed and when downstairs, what he saw was just as horrific as what he saw the day Tails died. He saw even more blood everywhere and more messages on the walls. Sonic then heard a murmur of sort in his kitchen. He walked into it and saw nothing except an English version of the ending message on the video, and it said, "The sights of hell brings its viewers back for more." Sonic's heart pounded like crazy as something tapped his shoulder. He turned around and saw a horrific sight. The last thing Sonic ever says is, "Ah!" I'm not even kidding. That is like in quotation marks. The end for now. That
Oh
was
my
chapter
goodness.
1 of what I call Sonic Creepypasta. I
real good
accept
name.
positive reviews and constructive criticism. Thanks for reading and see you later.